What's up, y'all? So today we're going to be going over what I usually carry into the woods when I go on a hunting trip or just hunting in general. So tomorrow I'm heading out to a friend's house or a friend's property about 30 minutes away to try to get a first Alabama buck. I got a Georgia one earlier this year, but we're going to go for Alabama this time. So besides a weapon of some type, whether it's a bow, rifle, I mean, you could spear some states. So besides all that and your ammunition, a bag. So a fanny pack is going to come in handy very well, especially when you're hunting out of a tree stand of any type. It's small, it's compact, and it carries just about everything that you need to carry up there. So inside here right now, we actually have 2 pull-up ropes. I use this one for my rifle or bow, and this one for my bag. I always carry this, even if I know or I think my tree stand has a pull-up rope, because sometimes they burn off, or if you're hunting a friend's property, they might not have pull-up ropes. So I always carry these. Not very big, they're not very heavy. They'll just save your life in a lot of situations. You can use them for other things too. Tying tree limbs, anything like that. If you want to add some tree limbs to your tree stand, for camouflage and all that, you can. This one's probably my more bulky one right here, but it's heavy duty. I don't have to worry about it too much. Definitely saves your life sometimes. And then for this one, I just got some 550 cord. You can get 550 cord just about anywhere, or also known as paracord. I have a lot left over from the military. Used to have to carry like 50 feet with us. And a lot of packing lists that required 50 feet. So I bought some, and it's just continued to grow over the years. I got like probably a couple hundred feet of this in my truck, and this is only like 25, 30 feet. Sorry, I'm filming in my driveway right now. Next up, it's not a need at all, but it's definitely a want that you might want to look into. Not a lot of people use binoculars. I love using binoculars. So these are my binoculars right here. They're bare. And then it's a vortex carrier. I have an extra carabiner here. You have no clue how many times I've needed an extra carabiner, especially during this, early season when you still have a lot of mosquitoes out, and I carry my thermocell with me. It makes it easier just to hook the carabiner or something and hang my thermocell up. In this back pocket right here, I always carry gloves, just in case. These gloves have been here forever. As you can tell, they're dirty, but they'll keep my hands clean. And then also back here, I carry spare blades for my pocket knife, which we'll get to in a little bit. Next up is a headlamp. A headlamp is by far a need. It's not even a want, it's a need. I actually need to charge this or put some more batteries in this one. This one has red and white light. I have countless, I don't even know how many of these I have, because I always lose them, and then after I lose them I find them again. Usually it's about the same day that I bought new ones, I find the old ones. Pretty good coincidence. But you always want extra headlamps. I usually have one in my pack, one in my truck, and then I also have a flashlight that I usually carry on me. Water bottle. We all know how tired you can get when you're in stand. you get thirsty. Okay. If you've been hunting for a while, you know there's always that one time where you're in the tree stand and all of a sudden you gotta start coughing. Take some water with you. Keep your throat nice and wet. That way you don't have dry throat and you're coughing and scaring away all your deer and shit. Do not take your regular water bottles that are plastic from the store that kringle. That will give off your location every time. Take something like this. This is still too loud for me, so I need to find something different. And I want to spray paint it. The blue, it's not shiny. That's why I got it, because it doesn't shine in the sun as much. But the blue doesn't look that good when it's up to camouflage. So I'm going to spray paint it, but besides that, it's got this top, connects to itself, so to be perfect. You won't lose your, that's another thing, you don't lose your water cap when you're 30 feet up in this stand. Next up, if you're hunting out of a tree stand, harness. It's not only is it safe and wise, it's also, in most states, I believe all states actually, you have to legally have one on you. And we're not talking about just keeping it in the truck, like legit you have to put it on every time you go up the tree. Make sure it's a good one, make sure it fits good, make sure it's not too tight, not too big. And make sure you keep up with it. Maintenance is everything, especially on something that actually saves your life. Make sure there's no rust on it. Keep it in dry environments. Don't let it just sit out in the sun or sit out in the rain or whatever for a couple of days. I hang all mine up. Usually, I only got one hung up right now besides that one. Just make sure you take care of them. Make sure you inspect them before every season. Also a carabiner. So you don't want to use the small ones for your harness. Use something this big that's actually weighted for above your body mount. It's got, I'm 200 pounds, so I don't need a carabiner that's going to break under a 50-pound load. I'm going to get as heavy of one as I can within reasonable amount. I don't want to carry this big old carabiner in the tree stand, but this is perfect. I think this is actually rated about 500 or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, and then I prefer the twist ones. That way, there's no way of this unhooking. It's also has it's good and it's bad. It's not going to unhook, but if you do fall out of the tree stand, it's probably going to be a little bit harder to get off. Now the actual thing that connects you to the tree. This is a tether strap position. I got this from a buddy. Actually I think all tree harnesses, when you buy them, all tree stands bought brand new should come with a harness, including this, the tether strap. So this will actually go around the tree. For those of you that don't know, and I might do a video later on how it hooks up, and just hook it up, put your carabiner on it, connect your carabiner to this, and then your carabiner connects to your harness. And then when you do fall, this is what actually holds you to the tree. This is a must. And just like, I need to actually get a new one because my stitches are coming out on the writing, which I'm not too worried about. It's just the writing portion. The stitches on the actual that connects the whole thing together is actually pretty good. I don't have any rust or anything like that. I've been using this for about 3 years now. That's good. I might get a new one next year just to stay safe. But just like your tree harness, make sure you inspect this for every season. And if you hunt in the rain or something like that, and then you just let it sit out, make sure you inspect it, make sure it's good, test it out, stuff like that. Alright, so we talked about our small bags. The sun just sucks today. Let me see if I can move you guys around. That actually might work. It's going to be rough in the back, isn't it? I'll try to turn it just a little bit. There we go. How's that? Alright, so we talked about small bags. Great for tree stands. Great for climbing up. Lightweight, they're compact. I can fit just about everything I need in here. My water, my binoculars go on my chest, so I don't have to worry about putting them in here. But literally, I just carry my water, and then any grunt calls that I have, rattle bags, anything like that, I can throw in here as well, including, I got scent in there already. Yeah. So I have some doe estrus in here already. That fits perfect in that thing. I didn't know it was in there until just now. You put Rangefinder, anything else in there, extra gloves, extra rope, some snacks. I mean, I usually put some Little Debbie's in there, you know how it goes. It's great for tree stands. But if you're going on a long hunt, like I did about a month ago, I went up to do a bear hunt. And I didn't even mess with my, I took my fanny pack, but I didn't even mess with it. Everything I hunted out of was my big backpack. Which is this guy. So, see, I still got gloves in here. I got a knife in here. I got a box of ammo. I got a thermocell. I got rope stuff. But if you're going to be doing a big, long hunt, where you do a lot of hiking in one day, I definitely recommend getting one of these bags. These are actually the Bruiser. Check them out. Works pretty good. You can connect your rifle to it, anything like that. It's got it's got some stuff. We'll do a whole separate video on this bag in general, but just get a good bag, good backpack. The reason being is when I was hiking almost 6 miles a day, 3 miles out, 3 miles back in, I carried everything in there. I carried extra ammo, I carried food, I carried extra water, I carried camera equipment, I carried ropes, I carried this big guy, I carried extra knives, I carried just about everything, honestly. I had so much stuff in this bag, it was crazy. Extra lights, extra batteries, just about everything you could ask for. Some fire starter, a little first aid kit. So all that's not going to fit in this fanny pack. And if I'm just going straight from my, from my truck to the deer stand, like 50 yards away, not a big deal. But if you're going 3 miles deep in the woods, get a good backpack, pack it good. We might even go through a tutorial later, or something about the backpack, how I would pack it if I'm going bear hunting or something like that, something big. But I can't stress enough, if you're going to do a big hunt like that, get a good backpack, because I used to have a small camel backpack. It got the job done. I used to take it all the time when I went hunting, but it just wasn't comfortable on the shoulders. And after wearing that, 3 miles in, 3 miles back, just thinking about wearing the other backpack was way worse, because my shoulders would be sore from walking 100 yards with it. So definitely invest in a good backpack if you do hunting like that. It will save your body later. 10 out of 10. What else we got? Rope. This was more a big thing when I was hunting up north for bear. I had this, and we'll go over the system later. Basically, this is 100 foot. I had a thing that wrapped around a tree that I could either pull the animals back up the hill if I needed to, or there was a couple cases where I needed to go down a hill. I could easily tether off and kind of rappel down the hill because it was pretty steep. So if you hunt, I would recommend getting some type of rope, good condition, somewhat. You don't need like a crazy high poundage, but at least like a 500-pound strength, something like that. 100, 200 foot, something like that. Keep it in the truck. You never know when you're going to need it. It might save your life someday. It might just sit there and collect dust forever, but $20, you never know. Just think about that. Now, I brought this stuff out because this isn't necessarily stuff that I take with me every time, but rangefinder. If you're bow hunting, archery hunting, this is a must need. I don't care what you say, it's a must need. I had a buddy one time, he never used one of these. He's always missed deer. He uses one now. Extra carabiners. I don't like this one that much, but I have it just in case. If you know, you know. I'm not going to go into details, but if you know, you know. Keep it in the truck. Some people don't like these. I kind of like them. I used this one a lot, then I thought I lost it, so I bought a new one, and then I found the other one, so now I have two. My wife uses them more than I do. This is definitely not a must need. I do not use this all the time at all, but it's something to consider. Keep in mind, if you're hunting out of oak or anything like that, have fun screwing this in. If you're hunting out of pine, it's a different story. You can literally screw this in next to your tree stand when you get up there, or leave it hanging up. I usually carry it when I use my climber. And then I usually put my fanny pack on it. And you angle it good where you can swing it out so it's out of your way, or swing it in however you need. Just mess with it. It might come to use. It's definitely not a must need. I hunt with this 3 times out of the year, maybe 4 times. It just depends. Consider it. It might help you, it might not. So along with the big binoculars, some people prefer to carry the small binoculars. I don't like to carry the small binoculars. I will sometimes. Usually if I'm bow hunting, I'll carry the small binoculars because I'm not trying to look 300 yards away. I'm just trying to confirm how many points a buck has. And they're not bad, but they're lightweight. Look into them if you want them. They might help you, they might not. It's definitely not a must need at all. You get different scents. I usually keep this box goes in the truck with me every time I go hunting, because I never know. I have extra trail cameras in here. I have like 3 or 4 trail. I have 3 trail cameras. I dropped it, guys. I got plugs for my shotgun. I'm not taking my shotgun anymore, but just so I don't lose this, it stays in the box. You got a rattle bag. If you use a rattle bag, highly suggest grabbing a carabiner. Now this is definitely not, I actually might spray paint this, because I forgot about this. That's not a good carabiner to have. Reason being is because it's silver, and of course silver shines. So I'm actually going to spray paint that. See, there's a lot of stuff that I think about during the season, especially early season. Like, I'll just throw something on there, and then I'll be out there in the woods. I'm like, well, why the hell do I have a silver carabiner? It just gives off so much light, so much reflection. And I just throw it in the bag, and then I forget about it until I go through it. Like 3 months later, I'm like, oh yeah, I meant to actually spray paint that. So that's pretty much all out of this bag. I did bring the camera box out here, or the video stuff. I'm not going to go into detail about what I have in there, but if you are going to record your own hunts, anything like that, just make sure you have extra batteries. If it's going to be a long-term hunt, make sure you have a way to charge your batteries, and yeah, make sure you have extra storage devices if you have to use a storage device, you know, SD cards, anything like that. I do. I might have it in here. Let's see. Yep, here we go. Have a way to check your trail camera footage. I got a buddy that takes his laptop every time he goes to the woods. That works too. Me, I can take regular SD or micro SD, literally plug it up to my phone, and I can see video, everything. So it works perfect. I don't have any trail cameras out right now, so I don't carry this in my bag, but if I did have trail cameras out, or they're in the location I'm going, I would definitely put them in my bag. Kind of obvious, but I keep this in my camera gear box just because I had like 1 trail camera out last year. Like, I wasn't too crazy on trail cameras. I've had it in the past where I've had like 10 out, and I go around, you know, a couple weeks to check them all. But this last year I didn't really do trail cameras. Like, I don't know why. It just didn't seem like I needed to. I think it's because I live so far from a hunting area. Before I lived like 10 minutes away, now I live like 30 minutes away. So it's crazy now. But definitely look into that. Really, that's kind of the basics about what I take. Besides a knife, make sure I'm not gonna grab my knife. I don't know where it's at. I know where it's at, but I'm not gonna grab it. Make sure you grab or you take a good knife. Keep in mind what you're hunting. You know, if you're hunting squirrels, you don't need that good of a knife. If you're hunting deer, you need a better knife. If you're hunting moose or elk, you need a real good knife. The knife that I use actually has replacement blades. I prefer that over taking a knife sharpener or anything like that. It comes in like a pocket knife form. I use it for everything, cutting rope, whatever. And if I need to skin an animal, it skins amazingly. It quarters amazingly. It debones amazingly. It processes in general amazingly. And it's easy because if I'm in the woods and my knife starts to go dull, instead of cussing at myself, I can just replace the blade. And like I said, my replacement blades usually go in my binocular case in that little pouch. It just makes it easy. They're right there on my chest if I need it. Let's see what else. Because I used to carry a couple boxes full of, you know, your regular cleaning sets with all the saws and everything. I don't do that anymore. I carry a saw in here and that knife. That's it. A way to get your animal out. So I have a game cart. Well, it's actually my buddy's game cart. Tomorrow we're going to be using ATVs to get to the tree stand. If we shoot something, we can just drive the ATV up to it, load it up, and take it out. So it's not a big deal. But if you're going to be making, understand the terrain that you're going to be hunting, understand the animals you're going to be hunting, and understand the distance away from your vehicle that you're going to be hunting. The reason I say that is a lot of places that I usually hunt, I don't take my ATV. I can't take my ATV. So I walk. I might only be walking 100 yards down a road, and then I might cut in, well, it's actually down a trail. But I can drive down the trail, so like 50 yards or something off the trail, whatever. So it's not a big deal. I mean, I can drive the truck down there and drag it 50 yards, load the truck, call it good. However, like when I went to do my bear hunt, like I said, I hiked 3 miles in, and the fastest way to get back to the truck was to walk 3 miles back to the truck. There was no way to get the truck closer, nothing like that. So I borrowed a Skidco from a buddy, and that was a whole rope system that I had set up. I didn't get to use it, but I understood the assignment. Like that, TikTok, right? I understood the assignment, all right? Long hike, steep terrain, heavy animals, possibly. We're looking at least probably a 200-pound black bear. Now, if you're hunting does down here in the south, you might only have like a 100-pound doe. Not a big deal. You can load it up on a game cart. You can put it on your shoulders if you want. But just understand what you need. Keep those options in mind. You have sleds. You have game carts. You can straight up literally just pull it. Make sure you pull from the head, not the feet, or the back feet, because the way that the hairs go, you're going to be catching a lot more dirt. It's going to pull. It's going to slow you down. Or if you have the option, ATV. ATV is usually the best thing to go. You can just drive up to it, load on the ATV, haul out. That's pretty much it. Make sure you have a backup plan. Make sure you let your spouse know, or family member or best friend know that where you're going to be at. I'll be hunting with a buddy tomorrow, so he's going to know exactly where I'm at. But besides that, just be safe out there, and hopefully y'all get something.